Hey, welcome. Hope you're ready to take it up a notch with me today. Today I'm going to be reviewing Deep Water, starring Eckhart and directed by Renny Harlin. Okay, so what's this movie about? This movie is about a plane full of diverse, really unique, perfectly edible people flying somewhere, doesn't matter where, and their plane unforeseen things happen. The plane has to crash land in the middle of the ocean, and now the survivors of this plane crash have to basically survive against a bunch of hungry sharks that are circling the wreckage of this plane looking for anything they can eat. Now, if that sounds like, you might be like, Mike, that does not sound like your run-of-the-mill average plane crash story, right? We're talking sharks eating people on top of that, and you're right, it's also a run-of-the-mill average shark movie too. Now, the best way I can describe this movie is kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what will stick in like every respect, like in terms of the character development and in terms of like the shark scenes. Now, in terms of the character development, I think the problem here is you have just way too many characters. Now, I'll say this for the actors. Like the actors, everyone here, all the actors, really look like they're doing the best they can. Any fault in performance, I would have to say, really goes more towards the script than the actors themselves. Everyone is trying hard to make this work and do the best they can with their characters. It's just, in a film like this, I think you have too many characters you're trying to focus on, and I think what happens, like in the critical moments, like before the actual plane crash takes place, when you're kind of getting character development, they spend a lot of time developing the characters by doing like kind of little exposition dumps about each character, like, oh, I'm the one that has the sick kid at home, and like, oh, I'm the one that has a brother that I'm fighting with because he's my stepbrother, and it's like some of this stuff, like you could, I wish that for some of the characters you spent less time telling us who they were and more time just kind of like watching them do stuff, just kind of watching how they interact with each other and how, because that I feel like would resonate more with me. That would have developed their characters more than just using the time to like, tell us who they are. And, and again, the actors are doing the best they can with that, but that's kind of my take on that. And I would say in terms of like caring about the characters, it's kind of a hit and miss. There's some characters I kind of could invest in. There's some where I was just kind of like, they're just kind of there to die and be eaten. And, and there's some parts where it's just like, I shouldn't care about this because it's not written really well, but I'm a sap, so I care about it anyway, So it was kind of a hit or miss with the character development. Some of it for me worked, some of it kind of didn't. And that's really what I would say for the shark scenes as well. So the shark scenes, it's kind of like, and it's not even like I could point to and be like, well, this shark scene worked, and then this one didn't. It's kind of like this fraction of this shark scene worked, and then this fraction of it didn't. Then the fraction worked again, and then it did. It's like they're just kind of all over the place. Like in terms of the special effects, the CG actually, I know that it's always the same thing to say. Yeah, we prefer practical effects, and that's just kind of a thing everybody says now, which is what they're saying because it's true. Practical effects, generally speaking, are better, but like, there's a lot of scenes where the CG actually works really well, where the sharks do look really convincing, and then within like the same scene, it's like now it doesn't. Now it looks glaringly obvious. I guess what my take on these kind of shark movies is, I feel like a lot of shark movies learned the wrong lesson from Jaws, and Jaws is my favorite movie. I love Jaws for lots of reasons, but I think that so the thing about Jaws is, when Jaws came out, no one knew anything about sharks. The things that we know about sharks, we know because of like Shark Week and all these things. Because, well, when I say we, I mean just like the average people who aren't scientists and stuff. Jaws aroused a lot of curiosity in people, so people learn a lot about sharks now. We know what sharks are like, what they behave like, and we've seen what attacks would kind of look like by watching footage on TV and stuff like that. So when Jaws came out, Jaws took a very simple premise and just took it seriously. And that's why, among the reasons why it was so effective. And this movie is trying to, like, basically do that, in that it's taking a simple premise and taking it seriously. But the thing is, there's a lot of scenes in Jaws where, like, obviously there's things about the shark in Jaws that are kind of exaggerated, and we know that now. But in the 70s, we didn't know that, because we never, seen a shark movie like that before, so we didn't really know a lot of that stuff. And this movie, it's kind of like, I mean, this may be a lesser offender than some other shark movies out there, but it's kind of like, it just, the lesson I feel like they keep screwing up is like they think, well, we need to not just we need to take the shark up a notch. Like the way to make it as effective as Jaws or better than Jaws, if we want to try to beat it, is to be bigger than Jaws. And the thing is, what people really crave, well, at least what I crave when I go to see a shark movie like this, is I want realism. I think the realism would be scary. And there's, like I said, there's a number of little bits of scene where the scene is really scary, and it works because they pull it back. They make it look a little like what it would look like if you're actually observing someone be attacked by a shark. It's startling. But then there's like, I think a great example of this is there's like probably the biggest attack scene you see first. Like it starts out, like I thought, great. It was like, wow, this is actually pretty effective. It's scary, like you're seeing just the right snippets of shark to make it effective, but also mysterious and creepy. And then the movie is like, oh, hold my beer. Let's have the shark jump out of the water and land on the boat and it's like, okay, now I'm watching a live action cartoon, like, you didn't make it better by going over the top. You kind of ruined the scene, and that's just kind of, it's like this push and pull back and forth with the shark scenes in this. So, like, I guess this movie, yeah, I mean, it's like, it's got some stuff in it that's effective. There's some stuff where I was really enjoying it, and there's a lot of parts where I'm just kind of like, this is just like, whatever. So, how I would rate this movie, I would say, okay, cocoa wheat. Cocoa wheat is my favorite of all the mush-based cereals. So I would not rate this cocoa wheat. I would say this is more cream of wheat, but like it's cream of wheat with like, it was maybe some M&Ms sprinkled on top of it or something like that. So I'm going to rate this movie cream of wheat with like some M&Ms. Like it's pretty good. It's okay, I enjoyed it enough. It wasn't great, but it did hold my attention. So I'll give it that. Well, I hope this review was helpful to you. I hope that, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this movie. Did you enjoy the movie? Am I way off on this? I'd love to hear what you think about this. Also, if you're the kind of person, you like living on the edge, you crave adrenaline rushes, you don't even like to check to see if there's toilet paper because you like being surprised, then you could take a sharp bite out of that subscribe button, that like button, the alert bell. Again, leave me a comment. And until next time, you're probably more dangerous than you realize, for better or for worse. So be careful out there. Bye. Today I'm going to be reviewing Deep Water, starring Aaron Eckhart and I'm already off to a bang-up start.